when it was initially announced that you could no longer link to little things like Facebook on Twitter, the platforms responded. Facebook put up this, and look, I'm not a fan of Facebook, but that's kind of funny. I do like that. And then Tumblr just tweeted, oh. I believe YouTube tweeted just touch grass, which I sort of get. But look, all of this is ridiculous and embarrassing. And like everything else that Elon Musk has done since he's taken over, none of it is based on trying to figure out what Twitter users want or need, the changes they want or need, what prospective people who don't use it want or need. Every single decision, from the merely mediocre to the so embarrassing he needs to instantly change course, comes about from one thing: his own personal experience. What he wants. So if he wants something like Taylor Lorenz being banned or other people being banned, he'll make up an entirely new doxing policy just to justify it. He'll make up stories about stalkers just to justify it. Sometimes it's things like getting rid of the acknowledgement of what device it came from. Sometimes it's just, I don't like that people are going to post, so I'm gonna literally ban any acknowledgement of other platforms. And look, a lot of the time, these wild knee-jerk changes that he makes, that if they had even been considered under the previous management, would have had teams considering the ramifications, running trials. There is a reason that those things were done. Most of the time, the right has to pretend that they like these changes, whether they do or not, and that making those changes is consistent with some sort of obsession with free speech, even though it's not. In some cases, though, they will very mildly push back and try to get him to see reason by explaining very basic concepts to him. So this account, The Quartering, which I hear makes videos about like women being in movies and it makes them mad or something. I don't know. I don't know who they are and I don't care. Tweeted, hey, Elon Musk, I get accounts whose sole purpose is to promote other accounts. That's not a thing, nobody does that. Being forbidden, but telling people they can't link out to their Instagram is way too far. The same goes for Linktree. I use mine to link to my website, my coffee biz, not to compete with Twitter. To which Elon Musk instantly replied, because if you are a right winger, you will get instant replies from the richest man in the world. Okay, that seems reasonable. Which, by the way, it does. Whoever The Quartering is, that is reasonable. It's also the most obvious thing in the world. That's why people link to these other things. Why did a genius need to have this explained to him?
Yeah.
And he initially fought back against the criticism by doing another one of his polls. So he put up a poll, should we have a policy preventing the blah, blah, blah? And it was 86.9% no, because nobody actually wants that. Nobody was calling for it, but he makes the change regardless.
It's so ad hoc and it's so sad. He has no idea what he's doing. But I just want to say, in terms of this, 2 points. One, free speech warriors usually come along with free market warriors. Elon Musk, he's just a self-made free market guy, and he took advantage of business opportunities. No, this is a perfect encapsulation of what billionaires do and how they gain their wealth. They take control over a company and they completely edge out competition. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's saying basically, you cannot promote any other platform on this platform, right? I mean, it's monopoly-like behavior, except he's not really in a position. Twitter is not, it's not Apple, it's not Google, right? It's Twitter. But it is an encapsulation of like, wait, I thought you believed in like the free exchange of ideas, free markets, free minds, etc. Oh no, you cannot advertise any other platforms on this platform.
Yeah.
That seems incredibly regulatory, right?
Yeah.
Then the other part of this is Facebook does this all the time, y'all. Google does this all the time. The only difference is they're not stupid enough to put it out as a poll. They just changed the algorithm. Do you guys remember when Facebook rolled out its video back in 2013? I do. It demoted any YouTube link that was posted on Facebook. In fact, it still does. If you post a YouTube link onto Facebook, Meta or Facebook will demote that post. It does not like it because it wants you to stay on the platform, use natively uploaded videos. Happens all the time. I don't think it's right. I don't like that. But like, there's a way to go about it. It's called messing with the algorithm, and every tech overlord does it.
Yeah. Well, and there's one other difference between those two approaches. So one is, at least in theory, more in line with loving free speech or something, like literally banning people for posting. I mean, come on, how could you possibly think that he gives a damn about free speech after that? But the other thing is, he doesn't just want to stop those posts, he wants an arbitrary basis for banning whoever he wants. That's what he wants. So you could be banned for putting those posts up. Now, not everyone will be. Obviously, Libs of TikTok, which had a link tree, is not banned, was never gonna be banned. But having this sort of policy allows him to say, that's why I banned someone. It wasn't because I disagree with them politically. It was because they acknowledged that they had a Nostra account. What? I literally don't even know what that is. But isn't it weird which ones were listed and which were not? Truth Social gets on there. Who is really trying to send people to their Truth Social? No, it's because Trump didn't come over to Twitter once Elon Musk brought him back on. Post and Mastodon, which again, very few people use, are there because people are needling him with it. That's why, not because people are constantly advertising. It's all personal.
Or that it represents any kind of a threat, John. Like, it's not a threat.
It's not an actual threat, but it's being presented as one, and he is a tiny little baby, and so he'll respond in the way that he does. In any event, they reversed it, as they do so many of his things, because he never thinks about or doesn't have the capacity to understand how his changes will be interpreted or received. And so now it's only if the account's primary purpose is to promote competitors, which I guess means that he's going to ban the literal, well, the post Twitter account is banned, but I guess he'll maintain that. No regular person was just using their thing to promote their whatever. Although again, that could be used as the pretext to ban people. He'll just say that that's what they were doing, whether they were or not. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.